Welcome back to episode 20 of Aftermath. Where we left off, our band of misfits had made their way back to the city train of Korea after being mysteriously teleported out down to the mountain range to the south of them, which you can probably see on the screen because I forgot to change the overlay. So, yeah, they made their way back to Korea, picked up a hitchhiker that was sort of forced upon them, that appeared to be somewhat confused about being forced upon them, in the form of Larkin, a dwarf, and then they were immediately assaulted after attempting to make their way back onto Korea. First off, they discovered that the temple that Akane has previously visited was no longer accessible. They then caught up with the train and attempted to board the train. When they did so, they were confronted by the guards, who were unusually hostile and have apprehended them. After being apprehended, some people were stuck in a portable hole for a significant amount of time, and the 10 minutes passed to the point at which they started to suffocate. After which, Mathias made a last-ditch effort to drop the portable hole down on the floor, renewing everyone's breath for 10 minutes, at which point Pandal and Wakiliy were teleported themselves out and have run up behind the guards, and Wakiliy has knocked 2 of them out. There are 4 other guards remaining who have willed to face you. One of them has thrown down a bead onto the floor, which nearly trapped Wakiliy in a bubble of force. And as they sort of announced to Mathias, backup is on the way.
There's the backup. Sound effect of backup.
Oh my god, perfect. That's perfect timing. Okay, you got a license for that, you do?
I got a license.
You got a
Nice.
license
Okay.
for that, Link?
Oh no. There's no tax-a-rooney, my Link-a-roonies.
It's delete Article 13. So, we return to...
Oh my god.
We return in the throes of battle. I do not know if we have a turn tracker, do we? We don't have a turn tracker.
He just took it upon himself to just hit some things.
Yeah, I think I made you roll. So, I think at this point, what is everyone going to do? Do you intend to fight the guards? Is the question. Because I think...
I don't. Wakiliy's just holding himself in a stance that looks like if trouble were to come his way, he'd fight back, but he's not actively moving towards them.
I'm gonna throw my hands up. It was not me! I was on record, wasn't me. Have no association. Wasn't me.
Me.
The guards
Sorry,
holding...
do I actually... Is the portable hole opened?
No.
It has been...
No?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
picked up by one of the guards. You can make a strength check, I believe it's like DC 10 or something, so basically you can't fail, to escape from the portable hole.
That will destroy it, though. Oh, crap.
What?
Doesn't that DC 10 destroy it?
I don't think so. It's a magic item.
Pretty certain it doesn't. Let me just bring it up. The hole's folded up. A creature within the hole's extra-dimensional space can use an action to make a DC 10 strength check, and on a successful check, the creature forces its way out and appears within 5 feet of the portable hole, or the creature carrying it. Yeah. Nope, it only destroys if you have like a bag of holding or something,
Okay.
which I'm assuming are being carried by people who are not in the portable hole, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I'll just...
Yeah, I was off running to the university to get help and
Yeah.
papers.
You were, whilst invisible, I do believe.
Yes.
Yeah, I ran away invisible, but I would have... Yeah, I guess I would have gone there and then turned myself visible again.
Okay. So, you are in the 3rd carriage, which is the last carriage of the 3, and then there's the engine at the front for Korea. And the university's in the 2nd one, and you all live in the 1st carriage. So it is a bit of a
Can I
walk
fly to
between
make it quicker?
You can, because these corridors are about 15 to 20 feet wide by 30 to 40 feet tall. And that's even where there's corridors. Most of the point, it's almost like there are house fronts, and it's almost like streets. There's just sort of a roof over the top. It's quite strange for those that aren't used to it. So, the guards... Yeah, the guards take up a a defensive stance and stare you down, Wakiliy. Not making any move to engage, seeing how quickly you dispatch the other two. They wait.
He
Ready.
waits.
Okay, so I hear more backup coming.
Do I actually know what the situation is?
Not
Or-
really. You are aware of the fact that there was the portable hole and stuff, and then as it opened for a brief moment, and you saw the ceiling of a large, one of the sort of larger corridors, and then Wakiliy and Pandal both vanished with the dimension door, and then you no longer see the ceiling or anything, so you're not quite sure. As it was closed, obviously.
Okay.
So, you continue to stare each other down. Akane, go ahead and make me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. Okay.
Just for flying around tight corners, and just to see basically how fast you can do this.
Girl. I thought I had a. Where's it? Oh, there. Oh no, never mind. I wasn't. 20.
Okay.
Alright.
Not bad.
So, you make your way towards the front of the university at extreme speed, taking only a moment or two longer, really, only a few minutes.
I just run up, make myself visible, run up to the front desk and start rattling out information.
The
Um.
the person on the front desk is not one you recognise. It's a sort of tiefling guy who's just kind of casually sat there with both his feet on the desk, and he sort of looks up at you, clearly being asleep, pulls back this sort of wide-brimmed hat off of his face. And, what do you want?
I need papers. Papers now.
Uh,
But
he points you over at the cabinet that has plain paper just stored in it.
no, not that paper. I need, like, identification paper for Mathias, Professor Mathias.
Who the hell are
And-
you?
I'm Akane. I'm one of his students. I
Oh.
attend this university.
He sort of sits up a bit and
I need it pretty quickly. He's in a bit of a situation right now.
alright, you've got a proof of identification. He starts going through, looking through the filing cabinets.
Did he ask if I have proof of
Yeah,
identification?
he's asking if you have any idea, any proof you are who you say you are.
Well, would it also be at this university, by the way?
Well, yeah, you wouldn't really have an ID. So not really. There will be your student records, but those are the best you can have. Due to the
I mean, I
nature of
got
the
student records here, but no ID papers.
Oh, fine. What you? Right. Who you say? What's your name? He sort of pulls out his large
Akane
binder and starts
Peters.
flipping through it. Akane, Peters. Jeff, no.
That's not me.
Jefferson. Akane Peters. Yes. Kitsune. Alright, whatever, fine, sure, I don't care. And then he slams his thing shut and slides it across his desk. And then sort of leans dangerously far back on his chair, reaches into one of the filing cabinets behind him, fiddles around for a moment, pulls out a set of papers, rifles through them, hands you one of them, and then just shrunk back into the filing cabinet.
What did he give me?
It was Mathias's proof of, one of the copies of the proof of who Mathias is as a teacher here.
Okay.
And then,
Okay, thank you. I gotta go now.
yeah,
And I'll just race back.
not listening. He's already pulled his hat back down. He's fast asleep.
Son of a bitch.
This guy's my spirit animal.
Not a single fuck was given.
So, carrying this piece of paper somewhat gingerly, for fear of folding it, you make your way.
Oh no, I folded. No, just kidding.
Very well. You swiftly
That'll
make
be
your way
savage.
back towards the guards. Where you see the continued standoff. About this point, another sort of 3 or 4 minutes have passed since the hole was opened last. You got about 7 minutes. Yeah, as you approach, you see the guards are facing all towards Wakiliy, weapons drawn. And as you come up, one of them whirls around and... You there!
Yeah,
Back
sure, what?
off.
I got these papers. I point over at Mathias. Quickly.
Ah, splendid.
He reaches out for the papers,
I hand them to him.
looks down at the paper, passes it over to the guy next to him, and continues to keep an eye on you. The guy next to him, fucking idiot, he can't even read. Looks over them. Mathias Greenfield, eh?
Yep.
Alright. Very well. Just checks out. Hands back the paper to you. You are free to go. At this point,
Thank you very much.
you'll begin to hear a set of sort of chung 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 of armoured footsteps coming down the corridor in unison.
And a police siren.
You may want to give him... Could you uncuff me then?
Very well. So he, begins to uncuff you.
Much appreciated.
They take you and they push you back the direction of Akane, away from Wakiliy and Pandal, separating you.
You may want to give him his things back. The people
Right, the
don't die.
scarf. I'd appreciate that one.
What? He hands you the scarf.
Thank you very much. I'll just turn to Akane, hand her the scarf. Go and return the paper to the uni before anything happens to it, would you? And like give her a wink.
Okay, sure thing, sure. I'll
And I give you the
run
scarf
off somewhere.
as
Yeah, I'll run off somewhere out of sight and open the thing.
As you begin to run off, you see, coming sort of around the corner, a number of the guards you've been facing. Most of them appear to be half-orc, which is interesting. Half-orcs or orcs. And they are in relatively well-decked-out armour. And they've got some pretty shiny weapons, but they don't look like they've seen a lot of action. They look a lot like they pretend they've seen a lot of action. As you go running past, around the corner come what you can assume are more the people who have either served on the guard force for a really long time, or just actually seen a lot of action, as about 8 men run past. Human, tiefling, 1 halfling, and a couple of half-orcs run past, carrying with them a longsword across their back, short swords, 2 of them with heavy crossbows. So they run past in this sort of splint armour, headed towards Wakiliy and Pandal and the rest of the group.
Okay.
Each of them with the familiar amulet around their necks, the same as all of the other guards have. And one of them's carrying a spear in his hand. They, as they run up to the rest of the group, with facing down Pandal and Wakiliy, there's a few sort of brief orders shouted between them in either a language you don't quite catch, or just using terminology that is all abbreviations and doesn't really make too much sense. Before these much higher ranking looking guards turn towards you. Alright then, you there, Birdman, you're coming with us.
Wakiliy doesn't say anything, he just stands straight, gets down on his knees and puts his hands on the back of his head, and just kind of looks as unintimidating as possible.
They step towards you. The 2 with the heavy crossbows keep trained on you. 2 of the others step towards you, and one of them attempts to shackle you.
He doesn't he doesn't react. He just lets them do it.
They shackle you, and then they shackle a second pair of shackles over you. over your
Wow.
arms, pick you up, bodily lift you up until you're sort of. How tall is Wakiliy? He's not that tall, is he?
He's, I think, like 5'7".
Yeah. So one of the
5'6".
yeah, one of the half-orc comes up behind you and lifts you to the point where you're just sort of grabbing you by the clothes at the back of the neck, lifts you up to the point where you are, your feet are just over the floor, just dangling. They begin to walk off with you. As Wakiliy is dragged away from the group, two of the other guards turn to Pandal.
Well, gentlemen, I'm mighty glad that's over with. Aren't you?
One of them holds out a pair of shackles towards you.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh,
You're coming in for questioning.
for questioning. What would I know that you already don't? He just punched 2 people in the face.
As you start talking, he sort of motions towards you with one hand, and two of the other guards run up and attempt to subdue you.
I'm not gonna resist.
Yeah, they
Just 'cause I
quite
complain a lot.
they quite physically just sort of beat you into the floor, and
Oh, good. I'm already in the floor. It's fine.
yeah, you are also shackled, lifted up by someone who isn't a halfling, and carried away. The two of you are dragged off towards, in the direction, generally, of the guards' quarters in the second carriage. The rest of the guards collect their men, hand them healing potions, wake them up.
Can we get out of the hall at this point?
Yeah, I assume.
Akane is taking care of that.
So,
Yeah.
as that happens, Mathias, what are you doing?
I sort of
Eldritch.
watch as
Blood everyone.
Pandal's being dragged off, and once the guard is sort of out of sight, I'm just gonna use message to send to Pandal. Don't worry, we'll be drinking beer again soon enough. And then I'm gonna head towards the university and join Akane.
Right. So, Akane, where do you go? You just sort of around the corner to open up the hole?
Yeah. Just throw it on a wall or something.
Okay. So, you throw open the wall, and Jack, Larkin, and Sauriv, you suddenly feel the gravity around you shift as you are basically thrown against what was previously a wall, and you see before you the dark metallic corridors, brass and sort of tarnished steel of one of Coria's side corridors.
Oh, hello again. What happened?
Oh. I'm not sure. I don't know actually. I didn't see them get carried away. I think, or did I?
You would have seen them be carried past.
Oh, Pandal and Wakiliy were taken with the guards.
They were taken? Why?
I don't know. Well, Wakiliy punched a couple of guys and Pandal was with him, I guess.
Okay. Where are they?
I don't know.
Well, we best go find out then. I'm gonna walk out and I'm gonna look around. Do I see any?
Okay. Well, you're in a very small alleyway. It appears to be
right,
sort of a back alley type deal. You see a few small doors leading off, kind of a pile of trash at one end, and then the much busier sort of corridor street area at the other end.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the busier street, I suppose.
Sure.
Just marching off there.
Sure. It's sort of just around the corner. It's just a
Yeah,
much
okay.
larger street, as I described, and you see a few sort of building fronts along it.
Do I see the guards or that were taking
You,
them away, or any guards at all?
you'll see the guards that are still. You see Mathias. You'd probably see Mathias sort of just beginning to walk in your direction, and you'll see the guards that are just collecting the 2 who were knocked unconscious.
That.
So I can see them carrying Pandal and Wakiliy.
No, the guards that are collecting the ones that are unconscious are the effectively
right.
the lower level guards that stayed behind.
Oh, right,
watchmen.
the guards. All right, the guards that are
guards.
unconscious. Okay.
Yeah, effectively the soldiers were the ones that took Wakiliy because he was too much for the guards to handle.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I know that they knocked out 2 guards, so I'm going to go over to the guards that are picking up their unconscious buddies, and
yeah.
I'm just going to say,
They appear to be giving them healing potions and just getting them back on their feet.
No.
I say scimitar.
what?
Apologies, I clicked that on accident.
Wakiliy is still not done. He wants more fighting.
I'm just going to say, you know, is this? Are these the 2 that were knocked out by the Birdman?
Yeah, what's it to you?
Well, I'd like to know where they're going.
Where do you think they're going? Up the clanger.
The clanger. Right, where's that?
Fucking dumbass. Basically just points the direction they went, which is kind of the direction
Are these half orcs?
you to be going.
You see a giant sign there, the clanger.
Are these...
It just sort of points down the street, kind of the way you came. That way.
How big are these guys? Like, are these like half
Oh.
orcs or?
Varying between
like
sort
the-
of 6 feet and 8 feet.
Oh, right, okay. How buff
That
do they
would
look? Do they look like they're strong or?
Like it's their job to look
What?
tough.
Yeah, but
So,
compared to me,
what's your strength?
20, and my constitution is also 20.
He's a buff boy.
Yeah, not compared to you.
Just like, just gonna say, thank you, little man, and I'm gonna walk off to the clanger.
I'll follow along.
Sort of gives you this there's one of the bigger ones sort of looks down and gives you this very "you fucking what" kind of look, but doesn't really say anything.
Hey there,
I'm
little
not
man.
gonna
Is your
fucking
mother
punch
home?
them or anything, but I'm gonna take the piss.
Anyway, was Mathias around when we got there?
He'd be kind of just
Yeah.
walking past just as
Right.
Sauriv comes out.
Oh, I'm gonna
Um,
stick with you guys.
So yeah,
Oh, here you are.
I just gotta just look over all my weapons that just fire out everywhere. Are those okay as a point to like 2 rifles on my back?
Yeah, but maybe they should go in the bag of holding for now, and I'll just open up the bag in front of him.
normally yes, it's fine to carry weapons around. For the record.
Yeah, but we were just giving the guards trouble, and they did see him.
It's true.
I got my
Look, mate.
rifles and put them in the bag of holding.
Look, mate, you'll get them back. It's just to get off the guards' heat.
I know.
You get my sword. Don't even fucking ask.
Oh, wait, you
Larkin
give
sort
me
of
your
looks over,
sword?
doesn't-
Shit.
No, you ain't getting
Oh.
my sword.
Yeah, I'm the big guy.
No, I'm not gonna ask.
No, you know I have my sword. Or my dagger. Or
Well,
my bow. Or my axe. Or my hammer.
Of course, he's just listing off all the sides.
anything else in your toolkit?
I got some more daggers if you want them.
Nah, thanks, I'm good.
No, I think we're good.
Got another great
And
sword.
I'll-
No, but I've got an axe.
No fire
well,
axes.
let's see how our friends are doing in the clanger, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we head to the clanger.
You begin heading off. Yeah, to find the prison, it's not really too difficult. You follow along the main road and then off one of the larger side streets towards sort of the guard station in this area, where you know that there's, or you know where it is because the 3 characters are set out in similar designs, and you can quite easily find a guard station. So, Wakiliy will find himself thrown into one of the cells, locked behind bars, unchained, and left. However, Pandal,
Oh dear.
you are brought into a blank room. The sort of hard brass metallic walls, floors, and ceiling of this entire area. Sort of thick grunge gathering in the corners. There's a vent of some kind that appears to be sort of slowly leaking this dark green algae trailing from it. It appears to not have been cleaned. A mirror across one wall. Messy and covered in stuff that you don't want to think about of all kinds. A single table, 2 chairs, one on either side, bolted to the floor in the centre of the room. You're thrown into one chair and the halfling sits down across from you.
I really like what you've done with the place. The decor's interesting.
And he just sort of leans back. Alright then, pal. So, we're gonna make this real simple. Where the fuck
That's
are you
good. I
doing?
can't complex. Currently being questioned by a person.
Alright. Do you know why you're being questioned?
Because someone I was next to hit some guards.
Correct.
I
One of your
see.
friends has gone, taken it upon themselves to assault the members of law and order in this society. Do you want to explain that to me?
I think you did a pretty good job yourself, actually. I don't know what there is to explain.
Well, the motive would be a good start.
Well, you were kind of letting people suffocate in a portable hole. Might have been something to do with it. I don't agree with his methods, but death is a lot of paperwork, you know? And we
Well,
wanted to save you from that.
You want to dive into a magical cloth thing? That's your problem, really, innit? Not mine.
I mean, I wasn't the one dying, so...
Well, then it was your problem, wasn't it? You see, here's the thing. You can't just go assaulting the guards.
That's a good thing I didn't then, isn't it?
Do you have any kind of proof of who you are?
I mean, I have... What, do I have any kind of paperwork?
Probably not.
I mean, I
no,
have
definitely
many-
not with being who you are and your backstory.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of bar owners, performance goers, etc., who can vouch for me. Wasn't born here though, so.
Well, that's a fucking delight. What's your name then, little man?
Pandal Old Topple.
Pandal
Pleasure's
or
yours.
Toffle? It really isn't.
Until you
Because
love your job, mate.
I really don't. Not with shits like you.
I'm not give him a little wink.
He just sort of rolls his eyes. Well then, Pandal, here's the deal. This is going on your record. And we're gonna have to start a record for you, so that'll be 50 gold, please.
Am I still
Minutes
chained up?
discussed.
Do I
No,
still have all my shit on me?
you do have your stuff on you.
Okay, I'll just pull out 5 platinum coins then.
He takes them.
Is that like administration costs or?
It is. Soaring writing's expensive, you see. So,
Yeah, no, I understand.
it'll be going on your personal record that you are, how to put this, accomplice to a crime. I
First
could
of all,
read your-
accomplice. Second of all, ankle bracelets do not suit me.
I could read you your rights, but I really can't be bothered. So, this is on your
Yeah.
record. The guards will be notified. And if you are to continue to run amok in this city, you will be appropriately dealt with.
If I continue to be near crimes, I'm going to be put in the clink, you say?
If you are perhaps working with the person committing them, then yes, you will. Maybe.
No evidence.
Well,
Stop breathing down the
we
microphone.
have reports of you riding on his shoulders right up until the point at which he attacked the guards.
He was there, wasn't it? His taxi service around here is really, really poor.
Yeah, that's very
Ever tried to
funny.
fit a horse in those corridors? Doesn't work.
I don't think you really know what a horse is. No!
Got 4 legs and knees, doesn't it?
He stands up and walks over to the door. Here's the deal. You're not going to be seeing your friend for a good 3 weeks. Come back here then, yeah? He opens the door, walks out, leaving it open.
What's the green stuff? Like the algae stuff? I want to know. I'm interested.
Oh,
Can I make
it's
a roll
just
for that?
like, yeah, go rolls. You know what? Roll a survival.
Oh, hell yes.
Don't roll on that. Good.
Oh, hell yes!
Oh my god.
So, you go up to it, you sort of dip that poke with your finger, it appears to be some kind of like algae, like moss substance.
Lick
that sort
test
of-
it.
So you pull off a bit, and yeah.
Lick it.
Just touch it to your tongue. It kind of
Lick it.
burns with that acidic, like really, really strong acidic taste, and you realise that the ends of your fingers are going numb. You quickly wipe it off on the wall and spit on it as well.
Can I presto it away? Just like, that's not nice to have. It's in a room.
Sure.
Get rid of it. And yeah, I'll walk out.
Yeah, you walk out. He's stood just around the corner, just sort of waiting for you. Sort of thought it would take a little less time for you to follow. I see
It's
that
interesting
sharp.
you're, yeah, see, that's me. I'm very dim. I do apologise.
I have noticed. Follow me. And he leads you out towards sort of a front desk.
Do I see any kind of like sale locations? Because I actually think I've been in the clink here. So,
You probably have for sort of bar nights and stuff. You would know that they're roughly where they would be, but not here. They'd be sort of off down a different corridor to the interrogation area. Having probably been in both, being you.
okay, then I'm going to try and wander off and find everyone.
So,
Well, I assume we're probably like right there.
Yeah.
As you guys walk into reception, you see this sort of halfling that Mathias saw earlier walks out, holds the door open for Pandal, slams the door behind him, walks back off into the offices.
Hey, he's there!
Told you.
Yeah, I'm free. Isn't it great?
Oh, right. Where's Wakiliy?
Slightly less free, I'm afraid. He did assault 2 people.
Why?
Good
You
question.
were suffocating in the portable hole.
You were suffocating. So you didn't suffocate, so that's good, but he's also, you know, in the clink slightly. I have a personal record now, that's exciting.
I thought you already did.
Um,
Good.
Oh, maybe
alright
just
then.
me.
Either way, Pandal, you're free, yeah? How about we go collect Akane and we'll drink to that?
What about the big guy?
One big guy.
Is there any clanker?
Well, he did just beat up 2 guards.
Yeah, but apparently 3 weeks I come back. Like, that can't be too bad.
Oh, 3 weeks? That's nothing.
I know, right? It's like,
Oh, right. Oh, he'll be fine.
Only 3 weeks?
I know.
Oh, it's awesome.
Well,
To be fair, though, the kind of moss might kill him. Didn't seem very nice.
Oh,
What?
It's like algae. It doesn't taste very good.
Oh,
Should we
why
break
did
him
you
out?
taste that stuff? No, we're not
Yes.
breaking anyone out.
It's Wakiliy. He'll get himself
I
out.
start, with
Ah,
that, I'm
good
gonna
point,
start
yeah.
pushing everyone kind of towards the exit of this place. Like, let's leave, guys. Let's not discuss breaking people out in the clink.
We
yeah.
just said we weren't gonna break people out.
Hmm.
You know, I don't say that out loud.
We just confessed
start
to our own
motioning.
innocence.
Yeah, don't you have a personal record?
Oh shit, I do, don't
Genius.
Right.
Guy is one of them too. I don't know. I've been here a few times. Well, not this one, but yeah, they're not very nice.
I was adequately charmed by the man, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I take it you were also adequately charged.
I got a warning. I think I did pretty well.
I mean, for the personal record.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, but no. Administration's expensive. It's exciting. 2 cities, 2 personal records. Live on the edge, man.
Congratulations.
Sometimes I think there's a lot wrong with you, Reg.
There is.
What are you doing? Why?
He's been
Sorry, just he appears to have a very interesting picture in Discord. So, as you guys are discussing sort of what you guys are going to do now and if you're still guilty and personal records,
Yeah.
the door behind
I started. Oh,
and beginning to usher
sorry.
you out, the door behind you swings open, and out walks another what do you call it? Another man in a sort of a guard's outfit. This one appearing to be one of the more normal guards, and he appears to be sort of talking to someone behind his and well, I'm very sorry, sir. I'm sure we'll do everything we can to find her. There's not a lot we can do, you know, but with the current state of things, we'll look into it as much as we can. As that happens, Mac, why don't you go ahead and describe yourself? If you were not muted.
Whoops. Sorry. I was muted that entire time because, well, that entire segment up until now was miserable for me, but meh.
That's alright.
You'd see, he looks
Yeah,
roughly
so we might-
teenage, actually. If it wasn't, he looks like he was almost like a human 14, 13-year-old, staying at 5 feet, kind of pale skin, grayish hair. That is until you notice the ears and tail of a cat kind of sticking out on him. And he seems to be dressed in kind of middle-class clothes. Seems as though he's with, most noticeably, gloves that, while they're fingerless, it seems like his hands have basically been stained with grease or something, so they're a little bit blackened. And he's just kind of like talking to the officer, walking along with like holding a bag, sort of almost a duffel bag in one of his hands. If you hear anything, please do let me know.
Oh, of course, we'll do.
I understand.
Whereabouts might we find you? If we need to let you know.
He puts down the bag, reaches in, pulls out a little stone tablet, and hands it over. This is my card. I have a locksmith shop here.
He takes the
that's my trade.
tablet. Oh,
It-
perfect. It'll do. It'll do nicely.
Yeah, it's. I shrug my shoulder. He shrugs his shoulder. I shrug my shoulders. It's, you know, paper flux. I had some
Of
time one
course, I
day.
understand. That's a
Yeah.
genius solution, actually.
He nods his head. Solemnly
Looking-
and just picks up the paper, the bag.
Looking over and hearing this, I'm going to lean over to Akane and I'm just going to say, "Why is there another one of you?"
He's not like me.
He looks like you, kinda. It's weird.
I imagine I hear that.
Oh yeah.
Probably do.
My
I'm
ears.
not being very subtle.
It's
The
Sauriv.
figure just glances
I can't
over at
think
you,
so.
and you. Also, I forgot to mention he's wearing glasses, so he just kind of like looks over at you and just. Well, thank you again for hearing me out, officer. I'm going to go now. I
Very well.
have some
Have a nice day.
work I need to catch up on. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it hurt me. I'm going to turn around and continue walking. And look innocent.
I'm gonna lean over the street. Look like
Roll
you're
for
asleep.
performance.
Look like you're asleep.
If it's anyone only, that's fine, but roll for performance. I want to see Sauriv.
Oh no.
You have like
Okay.
Nat
zero
1,
charisma.
nat 1, nat crit 1, crit.
9! Okay!
I
yeah,
was hoping for a nat 20 just so I could flip it.
that would be funny. So, yeah, you're not, it's quite obvious that you were paying attention to, huh? Yes, I'm not looking. Kind of.
I just like
Please
just
don't
to
do that
throw
again.
my idea like, yeah.
Just the figure just kind of
Tail
looks up
switching
and
behind me.
seeing you do that just kind of seems even sadder and just continues on walking.
I just shake my head and cover my face. Pretty much like, fuck.
As he walks
direction
by, excuse me, do you have a locksmith shop? If
Yeah.
I overheard.
Yes, I say pausing.
Where would
just kind of looking around.
this be? I might need some locks in the future.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just a little bit down the road here. I work mostly. My shop and my apartment are here in the second carriage. I spend most of my time here due to, well, I point back behind me. I do get a good amount of work from in here, obviously.
Yeah, I can imagine. How big is your shop? Sorry.
It's smaller. I tend to go out and service homes and buildings and whatnot. So, for the most part, my shop is just like a stand and a place where some people can sit and talk to me for a bit, so I can like just develop a lock for them or something. It's I just kind of scratch my head. Sorry, sir, I didn't catch your name.
It's Jack. I kind of need you, Corey. Nice to meet you. Take out my hand.
It's Felix. Pleasure to meet you, he says, reaching out and shaking your hand.
I know what to do now.
Yeah. So,
Just
What's-
respecting all the people around me.
so,
Hold up my hand for Jack to tag me in.
Just kind of slap it.
So
Yeah.
Felix, now cat's out of the bag. Who's her?
my what?
Who's her? I'm interested. I want to help you. Or I'm just interested.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Pandal. Hi.
Hello. I offer my hand.
I'll shake his hand vigorously.
To point out, I'm only 5 feet tall, so Handle's not.
I'm
That's
3'4".
You're still not that short compared to me. Oh,
He's
It's a good, like,
relatively
feet
short.
almost.
He's,
oh
he's
yeah.
relatively long compared to you.
I just like shake it. My sister. My sister Ko. She was in the first carriage when they locked it down, and I haven't been able to find her.
What?
Okay,
Wait, what?
Yargon, I'm about to ask the obvious question. How much does Felix here look like Whiskey Cat?
Incredibly.
Yeah, there's a
Oh my
got a lot of
god.
resemblance.
If I search whiskey
boy.
cat, I just get whiskas, fucking cat stuff.
Wait, sorry, come again. We've been out for a while. They
They
locked...
locked the first carriage down?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys not heard about the... How long have you guys been away? I'd say just like looking between all you kind of confused.
I
Couple
just
of
look
weeks.
over the others. 2 weeks, I don't know.
Yeah, a hot minute.
About 20 years?
Okay,
Well,
well,
you.
Wait a
long
minute.
Have you ever been to Korea?
story-
Nope.
Long story short, something weird's been going on. People have been kind of transforming at random. Yeah, I kind of like just shrug my shoulders. I've had the fortune of never experiencing one of these, nor being in the presence of someone who's experienced this. But
Oh, you mean like this, and I polymorph into a fox or something.
is that
You actually
No, not
cast.
at all like that.
okay?
I actually cast it, yes.
I just like looked
I
at
wasted
it.
the level 4 slot for that.
What? Can you
Why
describe?
is that
Like,
a fox?
I imagine I described to them a little bit more like what actually I've heard them to look like.
Yeah. They're not animals or creatures. It is people begin growing extra limbs, their entire shape changing. A common one is eyeballs. Lots and lots and lots of eyeballs. Additional
Motherfucking
mouths,
Cthulhu.
other kind of things, tentacles, wings,
Oh.
all of the things that you shouldn't have in all of the places you shouldn't have them. growing,
Fucking
sprouting
SCP.
at random, continuing up until the point at which they collapse, die, and end up dead. And then their bodies have not been able to be studied because they pretty quickly afterwards seem to burn away, or evaporate in some kind of either extremely dangerously hot mist or actually catch fire and burn to a crisp. So literally just ashes.
That's
Okay,
kind of cool.
Yargon.
Hmm.
Just on a side note, we never established where the university nor my apartment was.
You
He
have
just
been
said
hanging
we
out-
lived in the first carriage, Uni was in the second.
Yes.
Yeah, fucking Rick knows where your stuff is better than you do.
Okay,
How
I
far was
thought-
in the first carriage? Damn it.
Basically, you guys have been living, and all of the tavern and the marketplace, and basically you hang out mostly in the first carriage. They're kind of like city districts. You stay within one if you kind of don't have to. The university is in the second carriage because so they can get people from all three, and it's easier. So that's safe. Not so much the first carriage.
Okay.
The first carriage we
Um,
drink there.
With that, excuse me, gentlemen. I'm just gonna have a quick word with. I'll look around the place. Whoever's willing to speak to me, and I'm gonna go up to the receptionist again.
I kind of grab your shoulder and say, "Are you going to ask them about how to get into the first district? I take it."
Oh, well, I might come to that later. I just want a full situation update and want to know as much as possible, because I lived there.
You might not want to ask them.
Why not?
Well, think it's a lockdown situation, and they're guards. People like them don't tend to tell the full truth to begin with, let alone in a situation of crisis. The only reason I came here asking him for any information, I say lowering my voice, is because I was afraid she was in jail again for some fucking reason.
Kleptomaniac or something?
Yeah.
Stealing whiskey.
Oh yeah, that.
I mean,
Wait a minute.
plus one of your friends also just got arrested. So
Yeah.
I'm
I
sorry.
just
I'm
look
just-
over at Sauriv and I shake my head.
I'm just gonna look at the Neko boy, and I'm just gonna say, are you? No, maybe.
Am I see, looking over at the big lizard man, kind of concerned.
Incredibly endearing is what he was going to say after that, and yes.
You look like the one that we saw the last time we was here.
What?
Perfect sentencing for Sauriv.
what?
It's just confused.
We saw another one with the ears and the tail. A lady one. She.
Oh no, I say, just shaking my head. I'm
Most
sorry.
likely your sister.
Yeah, I think so.
Wait,
Maybe. I'm not
So-
sure.
are you guys the ones that have been bothering her then? He says, like, getting a little bit frustrated.
What? Bothering?
Well, she bothered us.
Oi! Well, why the
I
hell
just-
have you been hunting her for a whole fucking month?
been
We
what?
haven't been
Wait a
hunting.
minute.
I have nothing to do with this.
We've
Not the
not
story,
been
does
here
it?
for an entire month.
The anger kind of subsides.
When was it? The week before we left? No, it was even then. It was like a
Sometime
few
before we
days
left.
before we left. We met her. She nicked one of his bottles of whiskey, pointing at Mathias.
I apologize for that.
She already did.
But if I remember rightly, Anne here attacked her. I think. Did you? I don't remember.
No, I didn't.
Did you?
Roll deception.
Yes. Convince us. There's a hit, guys.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
because I haven't
I
rolled
can
for
sure
HP
beat
yet,
that
so let me
free.
roll for my HP here.
Okay.
24.
It's like, oh, this character's sticking, right?
God damn it.
Damn.
My insight.
Why are
is
we on like
good.
68?
Roll insight, I guess.
Do we have to
well,
roll it?
Hit die.
either way. You know what? I have a better idea rather than going straight up to the guards. Let's have a drink. No. Yes, let's just find a bar first, have a drink, have a good night's rest.
Well,
Probably a good idea.
Are there any taverns in this carriage?
Eh,
I don't remember any.
It'd be a sad carriage otherwise.
I was gonna say I don't.
Yeah,
for
I
sure
know
I
that,
know
but-
taverns in the city. Yargon, are there any taverns in this carriage?
Yeah, of course there are.
I will name drop all of them because I'm a prick.
Which is the fanciest of them?
I mean, the fanciest one that I tend to go to is the Squeaky Mouse.
Which is the most fun one?
The Squeaky Mouse.
Let's go there.
Is the only one the squeaky mouse?
No, it's just that's the one that well, more of my kind tend to go to, and as well as the fact that, well, I just kind of like look over at them and say, "How much do you like your hard liquor?"
More than you'd
No,
ever
don't
know.
Hard.
A lot.
Then you'll like that place. It's kind of a thing of theirs to have. Like they kind of look down on people that order beer there. Either you at least drink whiskey or you get out is kind of a mento they have.
Excellent. Let's
and
go.
also never mind.
I mean, like you
Oh,
could
boy.
you could get like some beer, but like they won't stop you. But you at least need to take a shot of whiskey while you're in there to have any respect from anyone.
That cranberry juice. How do they feel about
Right.
cranberry juice?
They
Or
have
milk.
some.
That's
He
good,
just
'cause I
kind of
don't-
like slowly looks over at you, Jack, with the narrow eyes.
Sorry, I got asked. I was curious.
We don't really. I don't know. I don't. I don't tend to go there much. Just have some friends that go there.
Okay.
By the way, is he inciting me? Or
For what? What did she say then?
That
I
she
claim
didn't
that I
attack.
attacked your sister.
Oh, he has a -1 to insight. He at this point doesn't even. He doesn't. Even
Try
though-
it.
He's still skeptical as fuck as you all. So even if he did roll an insight, he probably wouldn't trust you.
I don't know. Okay, so I guess we go to the spooky mouse.
What a name. That's exciting.
What a name.
Spooky mouse.
Yeah, I'm gonna regret this.
So,
Mhm.
Knuckles! Knuckles everywhere!
you begin heading off. As Felix leads the way, knowing this area, it's actually not one that you did know, Pandal. This is one of those bars that even
Oh, wow.
you didn't know of. As he begins leading you down back alleys and through places of Korea you didn't realise existed, he ends up taking you through one area that appears to be a solid wall, and you end up going through. He sort of fills around on the wall for a moment, pushes in one of the small bricks that you see has got a tiny little symbol on it, pushes that in, and a door opens up before you. Inside is a tavern unlike what you've seen before. The folk here are interesting at best and murderous at worst. There is a very impressive display of hard liquors, wines, alcohol of basically every sort, shape you can imagine, stacked along the back wall. There's a number of tables, sort of in a dimly lit atmosphere, with folks wearing dark robes around them, but one thing you see in common is you note tails, ears, even lizard folk. But there aren't any humans or elves, or everyone here is one of the sort of rarer races, the more looked down on, from what you can see.
Do I know any of these lizard folk?
Just
I assume not.
roll a d20.
Okay.
Get to look down on, actually.
Sauriv, it's your
Ears
uncle.
and, ears and tails.
Fucking hope not.
12. No. You
Okay, that's fine.
don't recognise any of these. You... Roll a perception, Sauriv.
Oh no.
No, Kitsune are not looked down upon, but they are one of the rarer races, and they're held with a sort of, not distrust, but it's, oh, you're weird, and they always get that your strange kind of thing going on.
So are there kitsunes in this bar? I
There
imagine
are.
there were some.
Yeah, there are
Yeah, yeah,
kitsunes. Mostly the winged variety, because they are the rarest. Or,
Probably none with 4 tails though.
I just like look back
nah,
over
mostly
my
one or two.
shoulder to Sauriv and say, I thought this place might make you feel a little bit more homely.
As he says that, Sauriv, at the corner of your eye, you notice one of the lizard folk has a shield that's just set to one side. The crest of the Longclaw is drawn on the shield.
Um.
The current Longclaw.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything.
Alright.
I'm just going to say to Felix, sometimes remembering home ain't such a good thing.
Oh,
As I
sorry.
just walk towards the table.
Okay. That table or a different table?
Just a random table, empty
Okay.
table.
Yeah. So you head
All
over to
follow suit.
one of the empty
Yeah.
tables near the bar. There's quite a few.
As
Sit down.
as we sit down, I just kind of like see one of the barkeepers that I imagine I recognize wave, and then you'll just see my hands just kind of rapidly flicker around a bit.
You see a response in a similar sort of sign language. And then
What are they
the barkeep walks off.
It's
I think
sign,
talking.
it's sign language. I say, just like looking back over my shoulder at you guys.
Sign language?
Yeah,
Is it magic?
no,
It looks like magic.
no. It's just instead of using words, we use gestures. Gestures.
Hmm.
Or accommodate
seems
to
a
the
little
deaf
strange.
makes sense.
And I just like sit down at the bar and say, I ordered a round of shots and some beers for all of us. Beer and shot, the opener, as they like to call it. Except for you, I say, pointing over at
Oh.
Jack. I got you a bowl of milk.
Nice, I can make friends now.
And before the bowl of milk here is sort of a order that people give when they bring people in like Jack. That is literally just they get a bowl of milk shoved on top of their head from behind.
Nice.
Oh
Oh,
god.
absolutely.
Right, so you say this place is good on the liquors. Which liquors do you recommend then?
What are you feeling like?
Whiskey.
I repeat myself, what you feeling like?
Strong and good whiskey.
I just like kind of rub my forehead. I don't think you're getting the point here, buddy.
Oh, we've got to go that specific.
He wants to
You
get
are
fucked
literally
up.
you are literally asking me. Okay. Look, I don't think it's kind of surprising to you guys that this is kind of one of the more seedy bars. So let me just point this out. If there's a spirit you want in this town, and there's any chance anyone has it, this is the place you can get it.
Dwarven.
At this
heavy,
point, the
strong-flavored.
bowl of milk is served.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
Yeah, make a dex check because
yeah, I was
I
about to say make a
definitely
dex
see
save,
it.
Jack. As a fact-
Definitely
what's your passive perception?
22.
Why?
Okay. Then I will have to roll.
Cats
for
are very
this.
sneaky though.
Yeah. Just gotta roll quickly.
Oh.
13. No. So
Oh.
you hear the very faint footsteps of someone of the barkeep walking over from your direction.
I turn around.
Just as you
to see
turn
what the
around,
person-
you see a bowl of milk is dumped towards your head. Go ahead and roll a dex, Jack. A dex save. 17. Okay. So, this bowl of milk is just upturned, and as the bartender barmaid is the word, attempts to turn this bowl of milk upside down on your head, sort of misses, and it sort of falls in kind of into your lap, and you kind of dodge the worst of it, but
I
still got
I
a
waved the
bit of
barmaid
flash.
over.
She has a tray in her other hand, which she definitely slides onto the table with round a shot for everyone.
And
I
beer.
asked the
Let's do
barmaid if I
beers.
can order another one of those for him. with a sly smile on my face.
Here is very distinct click from something.
Something that's in my bag.
No, that's my
Oh,
pistol.
right, that's the
My
shit.
pistol is on my hip.
She looks at you as you say that, Akane, and says, "I'm afraid 2 is usually too many." Stands up, walks off.
Yeah, I mean, I shrug my shoulders. You asked, and I kind of chuckle a bit. Sorry, friend. That's kind of a custom.
Oh yeah. Used to have the same thing, just with basically lead.
Can I prestidigitate this close then? Just clean him up.
Yeah, sure.
So like poof, gone.
Thank you very much. Is there any milk left in the bowl?
No, the bowl is upturned and it's sort of on
Oh.
your lap.
I'm gonna down the shot of whiskey.
Yep.
Is it decent? Is it decent?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm just gonna say that's not bad. I'll take a half pint of that whiskey.
To who?
Just shouting out to the bartender. I suppose. Why the fuck not?
Also rude.
Let the entire bar know that I drink a lot of whiskey.
Sweet baby Sauriv.
One of the bartender kind of looks over at you and gives you a questioning look, but doesn't say anything.
I just kind of lean back and wave, in sort of a with me. And just kind of like step forward. Okay, so, yeah. Hope you guys don't mind. Me and my sister didn't exactly grow up in some of the best places in the city, and, well, I'm not one to mess around with illegal stuff these days. It's nice to know some seedier places if you need some help with something that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's one way of putting it, certainly.
Yeah, besides, most of the people here are good folk. Management are. Barkeeps are fun.
By the way,
Yeah. I downed the whiskey.
throughout the entire night, I'm going to be keeping an eye on the guy with the shield.
Okay. He appears to be drinking.
Just keeping an eye on him.
He's drinking with 2 other two other lizard folk that appear to be smaller than him, and you get from your knowledge of sort of Vernus in that area, you know that he appears to be of some kind of military rank, and those appear to be his subordinates.
Okay.
If you want
How high of a rank? Or
to,
is that not?
it would be. Let me check something actually. Let me see. When did you leave? How old were you when you left?
I don't know. Probably about 20. No, actually, I think I was. Just give me a second.
What did it say? Okay, so you weren't particularly too old, but
No.
you also weren't that young. All right, just go ahead and roll an intelligence check, just for memory.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I'm gonna take one of the shots and pour it out.
Oh,
Oh shit, that's not bad at all.
that's actually not
16.
bad.
Sorry, you can do what, Jack?
I'm gonna take one of the shots, pour it out in the bowl, and slide it over to Felix.
God.
Really, man?
Yep.
Oh my
Really.
god.
Okay.
As you do that, Felix just picks up the bowl, licks a bit out of it, puts it down.
His hand go up in celebration.
60.
I just facepalm.
Sauriv.
Shake my head.
It's not a particularly high rank, but it's one that is, it denotes a lot of experience. It's kind of it's as close as you're going to get to a special ops. They usually send out in a couple of groups. They're known as seekers. They send out in in groups of a small need to find a seeker with 1 or 2 other, just military, like soldiers or whatever.
On top of Hex's head, as he's just like, yes. a giant sign kind of appears that just says on it, "Asshole," over here.
I wish I had made your image. I would have fucking. I
fair
would have
point.
fucking projected Gateers on him.
Around
wow.
the tavern, you see just a. Oh, you all hear just a sort of round of chuckles around the tavern as people notice you, Jack.
I message Felix. Magical adept?
Some. Once again, years of the street before I got it before I started my business.
I just nod. And I'll start on the beer.
So other than your distinct Akane-ness in so many ways, Felix, how often do you service homes?
Mildly.
anymore?
No, that tends to be my most common form of call. Doesn't tend to be my most, like, it's not the highest paying one, but it's the most consistent one, you know? It's the one that pays the bills.
Can I insight him? Is he actually talking about just servicing homes, or is he breaking
Yeah,
entering and
he
stealing
is.
shit?
He's just like legit talking about servicing homes. You can
Okay,
tell.
because to Pandal that means different things. He's like, okay.
I mean, for the most part, though, industrial places tend to be the ones that give me money to, you know, I point to the bar, you know, set up a reasonable tab beforehand and other things like that. First round's on me, but after that, you guys kind of got to discuss with them on that one.
That's fine.
No worries. I
And,
think the bartender will agree Jack's paying for everything.
no need to be so mean to him.
I'd be happy with that.
I'm not up with that, so that's not happening.
I mean, it says arsehole above your head, mate. I think by popular demand you're paying.
I think he's
Well,
right.
who guys into legal trouble? Me.
Right, either way, Felix, I might ask you, well, once the situation in the first garage is over, to stop by my place, see what you can do about the locks. Because apparently they're not up to snuff.
Apparently they're not sister-proof.
You're
I
not
guess.
going to be able to get into the first carriage that easily. They have it locked down.
Yeah, I'm already thinking about that.
Well, they have it
Well,
locked
we
down.
also got on a moving train.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
the guards have it locked down, and we have a locksmith.
Yeah,
Yeah,
home service.
those locks are a bit different.
No,
I mean, I'm just
I
saying.
don't. I mean, I kind of struck my chin.
You seem the type that knows your way around places.
Yeah, I know a few back ways. Hell, I think I even know I am a service sort of like platform or two we can hop down on and walk across.
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't intend to put my life on the line in that carriage unless there's money involved. So, I'm sorry, I don't believe I've ever properly introduced myself. Professor Mathias Greenfield, and I'll extend my hand.
Oh, professor. Interesting. I
That's a
accept it, shake it.
Good point. I also say that. I'm Akane.
Nice to meet you, Akane. He says, shaking your
I'm
hand.
a student of his.
I'm going to look over at the lizard folk. Do they seem to have noticed me at all? Or are
Doesn't
they
look like
paying
it.
any sort of attention? Okay.
Not
I'm
really.
just going to say, Sauriv, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, we've been adventuring together for a bit now. Jack, joined us somewhere out in the field. Decided he wanted to see Korea. Point
Sorry.
is, my speciality... Yargon?
Sauriv, as you said, your name, they turn towards you.
I'm just going to look at them and smile.
Just the Seeker, not the other two. He just sort of,
Okay.
stares at you for a moment. Nods.
Do I see Sauriv like grinning at this random little
Yeah.
kid? I'm gonna
Grinning
message
with-
Sauriv.
Grinning with like a small amount of bloodlust, probably.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna message Sauriv. I assume you know those gentlemen, not in the most family friends.
Yeah, family, friends.
Yeah. thought as much.
Either way,
Possibly go wrong.
so going out in the fields, studying things, collecting artifacts is our speciality.
Oh,
So if the field is carriage number 1, maybe I can arrange something.
I kind of like grit my teeth and shake my head. I don't think it's gonna be that easy.
It's worth the effort. Is it contagious at all?
There's no real identifying mechanism by which it's occurring. From what I understand, like, okay, I presume you're well versed on Arcana, right? Like arcane stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you know, I've been researching into this a little bit because once again, my sister was kind of in that area when all that shit went to hell, and I've been looking into it, and I did come across the body of one before it fully decombusted. I didn't get to like fully analyze it, and once again, it doesn't really leave anything that I can use for traces, and most of my alchemy buddies that I know don't have any. I've been looking into it, and from what I can tell, there's nothing that seems to indicate it's directly carried like some sort of disease. It doesn't seem to be a disease. It seems to be something, maybe. I shrug my shoulders. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is maybe is the Flux doing something new now?
Yeah, Flux gone wild.
Mm,
I mean, that seems to be a theme around here.
The only major thing that it's kind of common is the fact that it's well, I mean, it's the most commonly occurs in the first carriage. It occurs in all the other carriages, just not to the frequency it did in the first one. That's the major difference. So just kind of like nodding my head and kind of thinking a bit in my chair.
So, and they're dangerous, I take it?
Yargon, have I heard
Before
them
they
to be
collapse?
dangerous?
People who get too close have been very badly injured by them, but they're not particularly aggressive or dangerous from what you've heard.
Just, you know, the whole don't corner a wild animal? You get the deal with him. I say just kind of like, you know, like kind of rolling my hands.
Don't happen to
Sure.
burn away into like green algae, do they?
Did I see anything of that nature, Yargon?
Nah,
I do have
ashes
expertise
or-
in.
it's
Like they-
ashes or just evaporate into a mist. One or the
Okay,
other.
cool. I'm making this information up because my character does actually have expertise in Arcana, so he has been looking into this a bit.
Yeah.
No algae, either
Oh, that's good.
dust or mist. Why?
Just saw some algae earlier, and I know it was a long shot. I was just interested.
What? Okay.
You didn't taste the algae, did you, friend?
Do I have my like half pint of whiskey yet?
Yeah.
Oh,
It would have been
that's fine.
brought out by now.
I also want to order some more shots.
I'll just be sipping on that then.
Hmm.
I'm not downing it or anything, I'm just sipping on it.
Felix occasionally takes a lick from the whiskey. Doesn't seem to be actively drinking hard.
I'm gonna ask for a 16-year-old Thunderhammer.
That's a dope whiskey name.
It's like, as you see that there is actually a kind of a slow whistle from Felix, and he goes, "Alright, now I think you're starting to get the memo of this place.
Do you guys know the troll stuff?
Troll?"
Hmm?
I just kind of like lean back, sighing questioningly to the barkeep about like trolls, you know, troll liquor.
You get a positive reply.
I
And
nod my head. Yeah, they got some suppliers of that. Once again, I mean,
Awesome.
this is kind of a place for rare people that aren't well liked by the majority to come. Trolls are even rare. Welcome here, but they're just even rarer.
Oh. Hmm. Yep. What's relevant?
Just
I mean,
imagine how out of
if you
place
want the
Mathias,
specifics, it'd
Pandal,
be
and
best for you to
Jack
go
will be.
talk to one of the folk, you know?
I go over and order some. So,
what you
some
ordering?
troll whiskey.
Troll whiskey.
Some troll whiskey that is
Alright.
basically made of trolls
Okay,
so it regenerates.
I'm ordering
Okay.
the same stuff Mathias ordered.
Okay. Yeah, you just get a sort of. It'll be brought out.
No, this is going on their like own. Like this is them being charged. Like after the initial sort of round. I imagine my character tends to. My character actually builds up a reservoir before he goes to drink, kind of sort of thing.
Yeah. So you
Well,
guys.
After I take the first sip, I'm gonna look at it like a bit curiously, sniff it. Akane,
Hmm.
can you try this?
Yeah, sure. I try it. Yes,
Nah.
good whiskey.
Same as your claws.
Yeah.
Tastes kinda dull.
Jack, what they give you is a. It's a sort of yellowy liquid, slightly warm. Comes in a bowl.
Perfect.
Smells slightly of ammonia.
Ugh.
And it's like, no thanks. I'm good.
It's just a sort of a slight chuckle, and it's left there.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
No, you're not.
Have a nice
Say
day.
that again.
No, I said that to the bartender. Just turn around and go get back.
What? No, what happened? I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
He
Got a
given
ball of pee.
a bowl of troll piss.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm gonna burn it.
I
Jam
imagine
just
you
down
come
in a
back
couple
with
of
the.
shots.
Do you come back with the troll piss?
But it was brought to the table.
Oh,
Have a
Yeah.
bowl of troll piss on our table now. Enjoy
I just
that.
like kind of like stifle a chuckle and go, alright, sorry, your kind isn't well liked around these parts. Sorry, friend.
Yeah, I got that.
That doesn't smell good at all.
You might want to put the cork back on that one, and I'll just like ask for them to bring him a proper like bottle of troll whiskey or whatever, you know, troll liquor to him.
Yeah, bowl, yeah.
After suspiciously long amount of time, you'll get one.
And I'll pay for it. How much does it
I'm gonna
cost?
smell it very carefully and make sure.
They've cut it with piss.
It smells extremely strong.
As long as it doesn't smell ammonia.
No, but it
And-
smells acidic. It doesn't. It kind of smells like vinegar.
Eh.
How much does it cost?
50 gold.
Oh, I don't have that much money. Jesus
Yeah, I'll pay for
Christ.
it.
Wow.
Is it a whole
that's
bottle?
pretty expensive.
Yes. It's not a big bottle, but it is a whole bottle. Hey man, trolls are hard to come by. Trolls with breweries
Yeah.
are harder to come by.
I've met maybe
I'll buy it.
troll the entire time I've
Yeah.
been in here. I
That's
think
what I've gone. Let's see.
I think his name was
Ah.
Trevor Trimer Taylor. It's been forever since I've seen him.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor the Troll.
Well, I mean that's kind of the joke is that he's Trevor the Troll. Triple T. His real name's something impronounceable unless you know giant or whatever their language is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
Hex, do you drink? Jack, even do you drink from it?
Yeah, take a small sip from it.
Roll a Constitution save.
Yes. Probably is that.
Roll a tongue save. Does it survive?
10. All right. Jack,
Mm-hmm.
as it hits the back of your throat, you feel it burn. Not in the same way that alcohol burns, but with an acidic burn. And as you swallow this, you feel like your entire tongue beginning to go numb.
Oh, that's good stuff.
No, sorry, what did you say, Jack?
Yeah, never mind.
I think it might be a bit strong for him.
I lived with those for a very long time.
It's a bit strong for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, about getting into the first carriage. I can help you all out. I might. To be honest, though, as a businessman, that might take some money because that is going to a dangerous part of town.
Yeah, I'll try to see if I can arrange something through legal means first.
I mean, either way,
And
you
make
might
the
still want
university
me
pay for it.
around. I'm pretty
Oh,
good about
absolutely, sure.
knowing how to get through the back streets. So, if you
And
wanted
I'd
to
assume
avoid
you want
people,
to get to your sister.
I mean, she was in the air. She was in that area when everything went to hell.
Well, how about that's your payment then? If we find your sister, then that's your payment. If we don't, then we'll pay you.
I mean, I can get in there without you all. Is the deal?
All right.
I can get in and out without your guys' help. Not that hard.
Well, I'm sure there's money to be made there, and if there is, then I'm sure we could split it, and if not, we'll have that argument at a later date.
Mm-hmm.
So as I said, let's try legal means first.
Very well. I do need to get.
Absolutely,
I'd
like
like
a
kind of pull out a watch, just kind of look at it. I do need to get going. I have some projects at home that I need to get done soon.
Right. Is there a rooms up here? Spend the night? Cause I'm homeless.
You can come and rest at my place. My shop and the house above it are reasonable enough. I could put you out in my living room.
You sure?
And, I could put you out in my living room. I have like a couple of couches, a kitchen. I have my bedroom and a guest bedroom. There's a bathroom. It's medium lifestyle. I've moved up in the world.
We've
Soft little
just
smile.
met you.
What?
If he's gonna murder us, there's more of us than there is of him. I'm sure we'll be fine. If
Yeah.
not, he's just being very polite about it. I don't see the problem.
Yes.
And my sister did wrong you all and break into your house, so I think it's only fair that you kind of get repaid in some way.
You've got to look at Mathias like, yeah.
She already apologized and dropped a bottle of whiskey, but sure.
Well, we all seem to want to go to the same place. We all have similar goals, and if you did try to steal from me, I'd know it. And I have friends that would be able to help me find it.
Fair enough. Yeah, your sister.
Kind of shrug. I wouldn't want to hassle her with that. She has other things to deal with.
Last thing comes
Still
up
whiskey.
with someone in life
Like
now.
missing.
You might want to carry your friend there.
Aye.
Fine.
Yeah, I could
A
carry it.
little
Yeah, sort of.
rules will be the long sign.
Before I do that, I've got something I need to do.
Which is?
I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna grab what's left of my paint. I'm gonna grab my sword. And I'm just gonna walk over to the table with the seeker.
I'm gonna hand Jack here his gun back.
The guy just watches.
No rifle?
You giving a drunk guy his gun! He's not drunk, he just doesn't have a
I
tongue.
mean, I already have my pistol. I just don't have my rifle.
I'm gonna get very ready to either run up and punch someone knowing it's not gonna do anything, or run out the fucking door.
As you
Uh,
approach, he sort of leans back in his stool and just watches you.
I get up and kind of follow behind Sauriv and tap him on the back. Sauriv, dude,
don't worry about it.
uh,
And I'm. Is there a spare chair?
You can pull a chair up, yeah.
I'm just gonna pull a chair up. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna lean my sword. I'm just gonna put it down, lean it against the table.
his sword's as
Uh,
big as me.
Yep.
Think how I feel.
Listen, I want to listen
Pretty
in
big.
on this shit. I want to
Oh my
know
god, the
what's
sword
going
is then a lot bigger than I am.
Felix is just kind of nearby
Because I'm
because he's
smaller
afraid
than
this is going to
Felix.
turn violent.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah,
were the rest of us.
Mac, Felix was like 5 foot something, right? 5 feet
He's 5
something.
foot even.
5
He's
foot.
5 foot even.
I'm 4'8", or
Okay.
4'7" or something.
The seeker sort of leans in as you sit down.
4'3" even.
I'm just gonna say. So then, how's the clan?
He sort of looks you up and down, and your dad's been looking for you.
Thought he would have been. Take a swig.
Yeah. Want you back.
Do we now? Well, he's gonna get me back. Take another swig.
You battle.
But then he's gonna get a sword in his gut.
You're a funny one, you are.
Could say the same about you. Look at the fucking face.
So he cocked his head to one side.
Pandal just mouths at Sauriv, I'm so proud of you.
You don't want to go there, son.
So you can answer me or not? How's the clan?
Clan's doing just fine without you.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Everybody's still starving.
they get
Well,
what they need.
everybody except for you. Yeah, of course.
They get what they deserve. What they earn.
Yeah, sure.
What about you? Sitting out here, drinking whiskey. Like a fucking coward. Running from your problems.
Might be true for now. Drink the rest of my whiskey, which is still like a quarter of a pint,
Oh yeah.
and smash it down on the table. Probably smashing the glass.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm just gonna look him directly in the eyes, and I'm just gonna say, but you can tell my father I won't be running much longer.
Have you found
I'm
your
gonna-
fairy tale? You'll know where you went. Did you find it?
Not yet,
I
but I
think so.
will.
Will you now?
I'm gonna stand up.
I've got a certain set of skills.
He just
I'll fight you.
leans
Go.
back as you do. Just watches you.
And I'm gonna pick up my sword, and I'm gonna walk back over.
Well, let's have a drink on that. I order another round.
I'm just gonna give Sauriv like a good fucking job pat on the arm.
I'm just gonna say, I don't know that I can drink here much longer. He's stinking up the place.
Got some interesting friends here.
Friend's one word for it.
Hero brother.
You are really right there, Jack. I agree with you.
Yeah.
What? That's not a soften.
It's
Whatever
just
you
speaking
say, buddy.
Norwegian.
Yo! It's not using my tongue.
Oh, is that how you speak Norwegian?
How are we getting him home?
I'll pick
Sauriv's
him
back.
up.
Flying.
Nah, you're not fine. I'm just gonna pick
Oh,
him
I'd
up.
love to see you walk.
Try to walk. I see why it doesn't work.
Jack, it doesn't work because you are lifted into the air about like a foot. There's a foot over the ground as you continue to attempt to walk. Your legs just wiggling below you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw him over my shoulder, and I suppose I'm just gonna walk out.
Alright.
Actually, how much was the half pint of whiskey?
Yeah, how much is a tab?
Yeah.
I'd say altogether, your half pint of whiskey will cost you about 5 gold, and the rest of the shots will only come to about 2 gold.
Okay, yeah, I'll just throw 5 gold to the, not throw it, but put 5 gold in the, actually I'll just put the 7 gold on the counter.
You put 7 gold on the counter, and you watch as it just sort of melds straight through the counter.
How much do I owe them? For the Thunder Hammer.
Find Dwarven Ale, not ale, whiskey. It's probably, there was 2 of them, so I'd say there'd be
No, I.
two
Well,
gold each.
Yeah, one Mathias, one. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Wait, did you say the gold just went through the bar?
Yeah, it just sort of slowly sunk through it as if it made a quicksand or something.
It's like,
Uh,
hi Jeff!
I'm just gonna pretend that's normal, or rather assume that it's normal, and just going to and look at the bartender, nod, and walk
They
out.
nod.
Okay.
Is the bar a mimic? Would I know that?
Bar's not a mimic.
No.
It does
This is
that.
not
It does
Hex's
seem to
campaign.
just sort of swallow gold. Put it on the counter.
And Mac,
then
this
get
is
it
not
back.
Hex's
I
campaign.
assume that is a mimic. Let me say hi Jeff.
Yeah.
Clearly is a mimic. Roll for initiative.
Felix has been a mimic the whole time. That's the twist.
Felix is Jeff.
Felix is secret kitsune.
The whole actually Jeff. The whole world is just a giant mimic.
Akane is actually a secret human.
That'd be proper memes, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
We're heading off to Felix.
I would like to. Could I like try to listen in to see if like anyone's being told to follow us, or rather just check to see we're not being followed,
Just
specifically by the lizard folk?
all right. Just roll a perception.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to point out, Yargon, that after seeing all this trouble, Felix is already set on taking the most convoluted route to get to his place possible, because he's used to this sort of shit occurring with some of his mates.
Yeah. You can, being with where you grew up and the people you know, you can find routes that are not just convoluted, but take secret entrances, back doors, and places, through places that most people don't even know exist.
Yeah. At some point, we just come across this really mangy-looking person who just looks like he's a crack addict, and I just say, "Top of the morning, Charlotte," and the person just replies, "Top of the morning, Schwal," and I just kind of like give them a high five and then walk right into the wall next to them.
Oh yeah, illusory, like things like illusory walls, scaling up, going through like little vents that lead into the attic of some house, but it's decked out as like a meth addict room. That kind of place is the kind of place that Felix leads you through.
I want to memorize as many of them as I can.
Roll an intelligence check,
Hell yeah.
and Sauriv with
Why,
an 8,
Felix?
you're not being followed.
Okay.
18. Or at least you don't think you're being followed. 18. Okay. Yeah, you pretty much remember the route.
I just
Can I
like
get
to try and remember see his face if possible, so I know what he looks like.
The Seeker's face.
Can I just roll a perception?
Yeah, the Seeker's
Not
face.
really. Oh, yeah, sorry. Not really to see if it gets followed because I wouldn't really have to see it, but just to get in my surroundings. Like,
Sure. 20. Okay. Yeah. No, you don't. I mean, you don't see anyone following you. But you also don't see particularly anything all that crazy, other than, you know, the illusory walls, the secret doors, the sort of the strange places where there's weird magics and effects that are around here. You walk through one area where there's these giant cogs turning, and you swear as one of the sort of support beams passes, you can actually see the outside. As you walk past, a sort of cold gust of air comes past you. And
Yeah, as we're walking by, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna pause and kind of look back at everyone and say, "Oh yeah, ever since they locked down the first carriage, it's kind of been wreaking a little bit of havoc on the systems and the rest of the carriages, because, well, you know, the engine's in the first carriage, and it's made it kind of hard to service it properly and whatnot.
the engine's before the first carriage.
Or the engine's before the first, yeah.
Right. So, do you know your way
Wow,
around the first
such a
garage?
Russia.
Shut up. Do you know your way around the first garage like this as well?
I know my way around Korea pretty damn well.
Alright then. Interesting.
I mean, I'm a level 7 rogue. I know this area pretty damn well, I imagine.
This is home turf. You know this whole area.
Yeah.
Korea, you know your way around. Where you don't know your way around, you can find your way around.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I just nod my head. Yeah, if I don't know a way, I'll find a way. It's kind of simple. Like, I just tap a bit of a wall. Look at this. You see this rock right here? I point to a rock that's like just maybe a faint bit, like it's kind of a red brick wall, and that rock just looks a tiny bit grayer than the rest of them. This is an indicator that we're on the right path. Just keep
Fair
walking.
enough.
Memorize that.
Sure.
I have a record now, guys. I gotta put my head down.
So, you continue on after a significant while of taking your way through the back streets. You make your way to a small shop front. Take a side door in and head on up to the second floor, where there's
Felix noticeably
small house.
stops at the shop and is just like locking down everything that has valuables in it with individual locks, because he's used to doing that even without company. Like, it's obviously not something he's doing malevolently. It's just something he does by habit.
It wouldn't be the first time that this hasn't helped, though.
Hmm.
Your sister has given you a number of things that just mysteriously vanished the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Of course she has.
So, as everyone begins to sort of settle down for the night, I think this is where we're going to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Okay.
So, catch you in the next part. It's linked in the playlists. Watch on the playlist. Always use the playlist. Kay will be back with you. Bye.